Today, we are going to build a contact management system that interacts with a data source. The concepts that we cover today can be applied to most situations where rows in a data source are created, updated, and deleted. For example, a parts or product inventory system that tracks and updates quantities. In this session, we are going to configure a data source that will perform these actions. 2 data entry screens will be required, one to add and edit contacts, and another to delete contacts. And finally, we will create a listing and details screen to view contacts in a list and allow the user to drill in to view details and to access available actions. At the end of this session, you will have the knowledge and tools necessary to apply these concepts to your specific scenario. I already built a simple form to collect a new contact's information. First, we ask for an email address, a first name, last name, and a hidden field to concatenate them to create a full name. And finally, a phone number. Next, we need a data source with a column for each of these fields. Head on over to Data Sources and we'll create a new one. We'll call it Contacts and click Create. We will create columns in a moment, but first we need a default row that tells the system that this data source can create new rows from a form. Let's add 1 row. Notice that the value in column 0 is 0. Never change this value or delete the row. Next, we will label the columns: email, full name, and first name. Add more columns, then last name and phone number. Let's go back to the form to make some adjustments. Add a data control and name it contacts_DS. We are going to link it to our new data source by selecting it from the existing data source dropdown. Check the box to Create Update row. Next, we need to map the fields to the columns that we want updated. Click the field, scroll down to the advanced options, and look for the Bind to Data Source column option. The first drop-down is the data source. The second drop-down is the field that is connected to the data source and has the box checked for Create Update. The third drop-down is the column to bind this value to. Bind the email field to column Email. Bind the remaining fields and save the form. Let's test the form. Fill in the fields and tap the Submit button. Head over to the data source and confirm that the row was created. Perfect. We want to make this as easy as possible for your users to find contacts. The best screen for this is a listing screen. Choose List of Data and name the form Contacts. This list is required to reference a data source. Choose Contacts and click Create. Click the top row in the list. In the properties on the right, notice that we can assign a column to each of the 4 available slots. Full name is good where it is, and leave title right blank. Select email for subtitle left and phone number for subtitle right. Save the form and go into the settings to choose an icon. Open the app and force sync to test. Our contact is showing as expected. The mandatory row with value 0 is also showing. Let's update the listing screen to filter it out. Click on the section just above the top row and add a default filter in the properties. Basically, we're saying don't show rows where there is a 0 in column 0. Test the listing screen again and confirm that it is gone. Now that you have a list of contacts, we need to provide details for a selected contact. Let's go back to the Screens page and add a Details screen. This one can be named Contact Information and then select the contact's data source from the dropdown. A field for each column is created by default. We can delete full name, since we have first and last name below. In addition to the details, we can add actions here to edit or delete the contact. Click Detail line on the left and drag it to the bottom. For the left text property, type Edit Contact. Choose an icon for the right text button and label it Go. Let's give the background a different color from the fields above. An action to delete the contact is next. Duplicate the Edit Contact field and change the left text. Choose a different icon if you would like, and click Save. Next, we need to set up screens for the edit and delete actions. Let's return to the Add Contact form and change the name to Add Edit Contact. Our data control is connected to the contact's data source. We just need to add a filter. Create a hidden field called Contact ID. Go to the filter in the data source control and add a criteria where email equals contact ID. The header currently shows Add Contact. Let's create another for the Edit Contact scenario. Simply duplicate the field and rename the data name and title text. We need to write visibility rules so that these two fields hide and show based on the action. The Contact ID hidden field will be receiving a value when the contact is being edited. Let's use that in our formula. For Edit Contact, we can write not blank, Contact ID, and Add Contact will be is blank, Contact ID, publish the form. Now that our form can handle both new contacts and edits, let's head back to the Details screen and point it to this form. On the Edit Contact line, choose Open Screen for the interaction and Add Contact for the target screen. Next, we need to pass the column 0 value, which in our case is the contact email address, to the Contact ID field in the Add Edit Contact form. The parameter is written as a data name value pair. The data name is the field we are targeting in the destination form. Value is the field in this details screen and is surrounded by curly brackets. The pair is separated by a colon. Additional pairs would need to be pipe separated, but we only need one in our case. Contact ID, colon, email. Publish the form. Go to Settings and hide it from users. Now we can test the edit process. In the app, go to the Contacts listing screen and choose a contact. Click on the Edit Contact action and see that our edit header appeared, and the fields are populated with the contact's information. Make a change and click Submit. We can now return to the Contact Information screen and see the updated information. Our final step is to create a screen to delete a contact. Go to the Screens page and clone the Add Edit Contact form. Go to the settings and change the name to Delete Contact and hide it from users. Click Design and delete the Edit Contact header. We can change the other to Delete Contact and set it to red. The data control needs to be changed from Create Update Row to Delete Row. Since we are deleting something, it is best practice to warn the user of the action and ask for confirmation. Then add a visibility rule to hide the Submit button until the user confirms by answering yes. Finally, change the Submit button to red and publish the form. Return to the Details screen and set the interaction for the Delete Contact line to Open Screen. Select Delete Contact as the target Then add the same parameter as the edit contact line. Publish the screen. We can now test the delete action. Open the app and force sync. Choose a contact and tap the delete contact action. Answer yes for the confirmation and click Submit. The contact information is gone. Tap back to return to the list. The contact has been removed from this screen as well. Now for some housekeeping. The Add Edit Contact icon isn't necessary. We can move it to the Contacts Listing screen. In the Listing screen, click the title bar, and the properties are displayed on the right. Click on Write One and choose an icon. Add some text and change the font to a dark color. Set the interaction to Open Screen and add Edit Contact as the target form. No parameters are needed since this is a new contact and we want the form to be blank. Click Publish. Go to the settings of the Add Edit Contact form and hide it from users. And there you have it, a contact management system that interacts with a data source. Take what you learned today and start building your system. Thank you so much for joining today. As always, please reach out to us if you have any questions. See you again next time.